Europe is in decline. In this video today, I'm breaking down the main reasons why Europe is in steep decline. The fact of the matter is that many Europeans no longer believe that the European dream is possible. So, naturally, many look for happiness and success elsewhere. Housing has become unaffordable in Europe. If we examine at this very current moment in time the housing prices across the European Union, we can see that paying anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 euros per square meter for an apartment is actually quite normal. What does this mean for the average European? We're not just talking about the European Union, but also Great Britain. What this means is that the only Europeans owning a home will be those who are lucky enough to inherit one from their parents or grandparents. Home ownership has not only become a distant dream, it's become impossible for working class Europeans. And even those who consider themselves as middle class no longer believe that the European dream of house ownership is even remotely possible. I wanted to discuss the factors that are driving the increasing housing costs across the European continent. High construction costs, both materials and labor, are one of the main reasons why new constructions are very hard to come by. And even if they do come by, it's just too expensive for the average middle-class European to afford a home. Another reason is strong demand in major European metropolitans and limited land availability. You might ask what led to the steep increase in apartment prices across major European metropolitans. Fact is that immigrant-friendly policies across the European continent, including European Union countries, have encouraged people with greater wealth to come into the European Union and purchase real estate that they consider to be very affordable, but it's actually very unaffordable for Europeans. So you have a lot of people from different places of the world living in major European metropolitans, people who bought property to obtain a residency permit. So I think that's one of the problems that we're seeing across the continent. Now, even with interest rates being relatively low in many European Union countries, many people don't even have the money for the down payment. Since property prices have skyrocketed, low interest rates are no longer enough for a middle-class European to afford a home. The natural result of all of this is that Europeans are renting into their 40s, 50s, and sometimes even their 60s, while never being able to afford a home themselves. This is the harsh truth of European home ownership. There is a workaround. Let's say you are working class, middle class, or even upper middle class European, but you are taxed to death. There is a workaround. You are going to be able to afford renting a place, but you may never be able to afford actually buying one because the government's reaching very deep into your pockets, pulling out all the money it can. You're being eaten alive by Uncle Sam in many European countries. Many Europeans end up moving back home with their parents so they can stop paying rent. All these things are very prevalent in European culture today. The second reason why Europe is in decline is because Europe's manufacturing sectors have been shrinking over decades, and that doesn't seem to be a recovery in place. Manufacturing was once the backbone of European prosperity. At a time when America saw Europe as very advanced, technologically speaking, many Americans wanted to be very much like Europeans. Now, fast forward to today, in the 21st century, we rarely hear Americans talking about the wealth that Europeans have access to. Now, in fact, many Europeans consider immigrating to America for a better life. Another fact is that manufacturing has moved out of Europe into the South and East, where labor and material are cheaper and easier to come by. Many Europeans are no longer willing to work certain working class jobs. They would rather be at home taking access of welfare and social benefits than be working a job for 40 to 50 hours a week just to get by. Due to the massive outsourcing of manufacturing jobs to the South and the East, many Europeans are out of luck. And all of this, of course, also removed high-paying jobs from Europe because manufacturing plants obviously need managers, they need directors, they need CEOs, and all those jobs are gone. They no longer exist in the European Union. There are a number of reasons why certain jobs just no longer exist in Europe. A big reason is, of course, the ever-increasing energy prices, and Europe is in an energy crisis in this very century. But it isn't just about the elevated electricity prices, why European manufacturing is struggling so much. Europe is facing real global competition that it never had to deal with before. Europe is in steep and massive decline. I think this is undeniable. Now that we've talked about the housing market crisis and the job market crisis that Europeans are dealing with in the 21st century, let's have a look at the final point of this video: the collapse of the family unit in Europe. Birth rates in many European countries have fallen to its lowest levels since inception. In many countries, we're looking at 1.2 to 1.5 children per woman, which is well below the so deeply required replacement rate of 2.1 children per woman. As a logical consequence of the declining birth rates across the European continent, the retirement age is being raised by many European governments. Naturally, the median age raises as well, so fewer people are in the workforce today than there were just a couple decades ago. Europe's labor force is shrinking. There are fewer educated doctors, fewer high-paying positions available. And guess what? Marriage is also in decline across the European continent. Many Europeans no longer believe that a marriage is necessary to build a successful family unit. Traditional family values, including Christian values, are in steep decline in Europe. Concepts that were once considered the backbone of a successful European family unit have become totally invisible in the 21st century. This decline was orchestrated in the 60s by the largest organizations that pushed for freedom and equality across the European continent. What end result did these policies really create? Well, we're looking at fewer families, fewer married couples, fewer children, and fewer jobs overall as well. If you're looking for an affordable place to live in, if you're looking for a family that you can be truly proud of, and a life worth living, I highly recommend you to consider moving to Latin American countries that embody these ancient values that you no longer have access to in Europe. Europe is in steep decline, but fact is, Latin America is on the rise. I want you to consider several countries where your quality of life and success are much easier to come by in the 21st century. Panama is an immigrant-friendly country located in Central America where you can get a permanent residency permit by proving a monthly income of just 1,000 United States dollars, which is below 900 euros. If you have a fixed monthly income from a pension or annuity program, you may qualify for Panama's retirement visa program. The same also holds true if you're an American or Canadian expat looking to retire in Panama. You would have to show an income of $1,000 from Social Security, the VA, Veteran Association, or an annuity program. Panama's Friendly Nations Visa program is another great option for a European or North American entrepreneur looking to establish themselves in the tropical country located in Central America. You are required to incorporate a Panamanian corporation and obtain a work permit for yourself so that you can legally live in Panama for the long term. Paraguay is another interesting country located in the heart of South America that's been welcoming European immigrants not just for decades, but centuries. If you have a passport from the United States of America, Canada, European Union, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or Taiwan, you may qualify for Paraguayan residency. You could be living in Paraguay on your retirement income or location-independent income. And by the way, there are many business opportunities here in the heart of South America. With Paraguay's territorial tax system and low local taxes, you can expect an abundance of business opportunities locally here. Another country that you might have heard of but never considered is Bolivia, another Central American country with an immigrant-friendly visa policy. You can immigrate to Bolivia legally by proving economic solvency, and you can have a passport in as little as 3 to 4 years. If you're interested in moving to an immigrant-friendly country in South America, want to reduce your taxes, increase your quality of life, access affordable housing, and create the family unit that you want for yourself, then consider working with Nomad Elite. We help you move your life overseas and create the best possible setup for your future future in the 21st century. If you're interested in working with us, please go to nomadelite.com and click on book a consultation. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to welcoming you to Latin America.